Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Wednesday, September 18th, 2013. Thank you all for tuning in. Today is the big day where the Federal Reserve is supposed to taper their quantitative easing program, QE3. Currently, that program stands at $85 billion a month worth of buying mortgage-backed securities and U.S. treasuries. Are they going to taper, which means they're going to cut down the size of those purchases each and every month? The consensus stands that the taper will be about $10 billion a month. So they'll cut the taper down to around $75 billion. We'll see if that is the case. If the taper is too large, will the markets react in a negative way? If the taper is too small, will the markets react positively and start to move higher? What's baked into the cake already in this market? That's what remains to be seen, and we'll just have to watch the reaction. Again, the announcement is supposed to be made around 2 o'clock this afternoon, followed by a press conference by Ben Bernanke. So we'll see if that is the case. Ben Bernanke will defend whatever his actions are, and he'll talk about it at 2:30 in the afternoon. We'll see if Steve Leisman or John Hilsenrath, one of those two, get the first question to ask Ben Bernanke about the quantitative easing tapering. The other option is if quantitative easing does not even take place. So what if the Fed decides to push it back to December? What would that do to the markets as well? That would probably send the market sharply higher, probably send gold sharply higher as well. But again, just watch the reaction here. We'll see how the market reacts to any tapering. If the Fed doesn't taper, I think the markets would probably go a lot higher, and at least initially, and then I do think gold would follow that initially as well. So we'll see how this all plays out. In the meantime, we do have the S&P 500 E-mini futures here, higher by about 1 point or 3/4 of a point to around 1705 and 3/4. I don't know if we can make too much out of it. Again, the market's probably going to be in this flat type mode until the announcement is made, and that announcement is not scheduled to be put out there until 2 o'clock this afternoon. So we got a while to go throughout the trading day before that announcement is made. So we'll just hang on and see how this market shakes out before the opening bell. We do have some stocks here that are going to be volatile in the meantime, or at least some action. Adobe Systems is a stock that is having a good pop ahead of the opening bell. Looks like the company reported earnings last night, a little bit better than expected, or at least a positive reaction. I'd be careful around here, around $51. I don't know how much more upside is left in the charts here, but I would not be chasing Adobe at this stage of the game. In fact, I just couldn't find a level here today to try to short this equity, but it is at an all-time high, so I'm not going to look to short it or fade it, but this is an equity I would not chase up here at these levels. It's very overbought, very extended, and I don't think there's a lot more strength in this one. So be very careful. If you own Adobe, I would trail the stop loss real tight. But if you don't own it, do not look to get in this equity right now. Adobe Systems looks like it could be, close to topping out soon. At least that's my take on it. Next, we have FedEx. FedEx reporting some numbers that were pretty good. Or at least the market likes it. Doesn't really matter what the numbers are. We only care about the market's reaction. Stock is trading up decently. It closed at 110.68. Today it's trading at 114.33. So decent pop there. FedEx still has upside potential. So there's not a lot I would do with FedEx here. I wouldn't chase it up here at these highs. But the stock still is showing some strength. So I suppose that one could go a little bit higher. Unlike Adobe, which I think is probably going to stall out a bit. So we'll have to watch that. But you do have these two big mega cap stocks in play today before the opening bell, both gapping up decently after reporting earnings. So right now, those two stocks are in motion. There will be some other, I believe there is some, well, at 8:30 there was some, I think, some housing news. But that's past now. It's 8:40 in the morning right now, so we're not going to worry too much about that. And again, the big news today is going to be the 2 o'clock Fed taper. Now let's just take a look at the commodity market ahead of this big news by the central banks. Gold is down about $6.90 to $13.02. If you take a look at the GLD today, you'll see that's sitting just below the 126 level, closed at 126.50, so it is slightly lower. It is reflecting today's small decline. Gold will be volatile after the news. There's no doubt about that. After the Fed news, watch for gold to spin around all over the place. It will be very, very jumpy. It will be volatile. Oil today, light sweet crude, is up 25 cents a barrel to 105.07. So again, if you take a look at the all-important USO, you'll see that's trading at around 37.84. It closed at 37.74 yesterday. We can't make too much out of it. It's not a lot or any major action this morning, but light sweet crude is trading at the moment. Make sure that's right. Yeah, light sweet crude at the moment is trading higher by 25 cents. So that's pretty much it there at that stage of the game. Looking at bond yields today, bond yields are trading at 2.86% on the U.S. 10-year Treasury note. So again, bond yields are just up a little bit, and I don't think it's going to have a huge effect on the market, but I think these markets will go gangbusters once the 2 o'clock announcement is made. So you're going to have a lot of pent-up energy in the S&P futures, but once the announcement is made a little bit later, there goes the ES, you're going to watch this market trade all over the place. It'll be pretty wild. It could be to the upside, could be to the downside. I really have no idea. We'll just watch the reaction. And then, as usual, anybody that's ever been in the chat room, we trade specifically off of the pattern, off of the support level, and off of the resistance points. We do not care about anything in between. We want to put the best risk reward in our hands, and that's the only trade we're looking to take. So today I'm going to leave it here short and sweet. But the Fed tapering is expected to begin today. If it doesn't, we'll see how these markets react. And if it does, we'll see how much tapering the Federal Reserve does and what Ben Bernanke has to say at 2:30. But that will move markets. Right now, the way I look at these markets is that they're very, very overbought, but they can still go a little bit higher. You can't rule that out, but tapering will. We'll see what kind of action we get after the announcement. With that said, everyone, have a great trading day, and we'll see you on the charts.